on.
Hello, you guys, and welcome to the morning.
See, it wasn't even discernible.
Women's Cave. Welcome to the Women's Cave.
Really?
You had to say it again. I'm Jay.
And I will know that.
I have an evil cackle.
Which actually matches.
Victory!
No, that doesn't match. That's a whole nother thing.
It is, but it's still victory.
I just wanted to know.
I beat you. Saying Women's Cave, so it's victory.
Just let it, drop it. You're beating it like a dead horse.
Wow, Ramona. Are you a sore loser?
No, I am not a sore loser.
I think that you might be.
I put like icy hot on my losing. It's like numb.
So you're a numb loser because she's a sore loser first, you guys, and then she's the numbing. Addiction much.
Shut up. Just
to winning. You're addicted to winning, right? You're addicted. I understand.
I was about to say something, but you know something? It doesn't match. It doesn't match because we're always neutral in everything, so never mind.
You're addicted to
Anyway, I'm addicted to winning. Yeah. Love your earrings.
Oh, thank you. The anchors.
I know. She only
keeping me grounded, y'all. Don't want to be adrift in the safe.
Lord have mercy. You and your personality.
Well, it's because
Books.
I'm back. It's because I'm back. You know, I haven't been here for a long time. So.
That's so true.
Woo! I had to do all the board meetings, but I only got to do all the fun guest things.
That's true. It was fun. All right, books.
Okay, so we are the authors of the And I Thought series, the Misfit Guide series. Almost forgot what the second one was. All right, so And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. Oh, these are the books in order, you guys. My bad. I forgot to say that. And I thought I could judge it at all. We can't, but we try anyway. And I Thought I Did My Journey Alone. And I thought he was the one. You were like confusing me. I was like, wait, that's not it. And I thought the workbook. Okay, so the Misfit Guides. And I thought it's the Misfit Guides. It's Sassy Sway that leaves crooked pins.
We sold out.
Yes!
I love that.
And the Misfit Guide, Cocktail Soirees, and the LBD. Yes, the little black dress, you guys. That's what we're saying.
Really?
And then we do Just Right Life, a docuseries, and the 25 Hottest magazine. And you guys can check out, we're having a workshop for writers in Las Vegas in October. Just go to andwethought.com.
Oh, no. You forgot the Thoughtful Book
and
Festival.
The Thoughtful Book Festival.
August 31st.
Go to andwethought.com, you guys, and go on the festival page, and there'll be two things that we're doing. And also, while you're there, ladies page in the middle, charities, wonderful charities.
Please support the charities that we proudly support.
And you can check out our books and everything on andwethought.com, barnesandnobles.com, and amazon.com.
I'm hoping that was around 2 to 3 minutes because I hate to make important people wait. And we have someone important.
I know, it's a wonderful. I have to say the line. So,
go ahead. Say the line.
You guys aren't here to hear about us. You're here to hear about our wonderful guests. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, am I the important person, or is there someone else coming on? Oh, it's me. Yeah. Okay. My name is Alex Kane, Alexander C. Kane, on the cover of the book of Andrea Vernon and the Corporation for Ultra-Human Protection, which is an Audible exclusive that is out right now that will, at some point in the future, be a series.
I'm hoping it's going to be a series. I'm sorry, when I read it, I was like, it better be a series.
I died laughing, you guys. This is so funny.
Yeah, actually, this is the resurrected her.
It is.
Wait, am I too late in to say that I also like both of your earrings?
You told me not to say it.
I just want that on the record.
All right, thank you so much.
So if there's a court person that there, make sure it was on the record so it can be read back at a later time.
Let it be noted.
I'm gonna be like, see, he said my earrings were awesome, and he's a hilarious, funny author. So yeah.
You know, like a book has like those blurbs on the side. You can put those on your earrings. Like, those are great earrings. Alexander C. Kane, author of Andrea Vernon, the Corporation. You probably can't fit it on the earrings.
Oh, that's awesome. I might do it.
So if we ever get invited to the house, because again, you know she's gonna have that sitting on there. Andrew C. Kane says that, yeah. Right on the bottom of the anchor. Anyway, let's get back to seriousness, right?
All right.
Okay, so question. Well, Nona, I know you have some.
Yes.
All right.
Only one question.
Whoa!
One question. I can handle that.
My question is, how the heck did you come up with that idea? Oh my goodness.
So I don't work in an office. I do work for a corporation. And I really like my company. There's when I started writing it. So the plot of the book, for those who are, it is about a young woman who is having a little trouble finding a job, and she takes a job as an administrative assistant at a company that provides superheroes to cities and states to protect them from aliens and killer robots and supervillains and all that. So I work for a company I really like, but I went to, we have this big meeting every year, and it's like huge get together and party, and there's awards, there's celebrations. It's a lot of fun, but I was just sitting there one year and I went, it's not like we're saving the world though. And that kind of jogged an idea there for me of like, I like this idea of someone who to me, like the character of Andrea, like she's an extraordinary, amazing person who I think has been made to feel very ordinary. So I wanted to write, put her in this incredible person in a situation where she's surrounded by people who can fly and make ice out of the air and shoot fire out of their hands and, are giant tiger beasts so I wanted to have someone who I think is amazing being surrounded by people who are, physically, very amazing and intimidating, and let her go and find her own way. So that was the basic idea.
All right, honestly, when
he delivered on that idea, like amazing.
Deliver. It was like Amazon got your Prime to you like in one day. It was like,
or 2 hours.
It showed up on a drone. It just dropped it right in front of my doorstep.
Dropped it. I was like, what? This whole book, amazing.
So that literally was my only question, because I was like, there's got to be something else I could ask him, and I was thinking, and I was just like, no.
At the time,
you thought about some stuff.
Oh my goodness. All right.
I've been writing it, so I had the idea for a while, and I was like putting it off. It was my first published book, and I was putting it off, and my wife was 5 months pregnant with our son when I first started writing. I was like, I need to write this now because it's not going to be any easier in 4 months. So, and in the book, the big looming danger is this giant alien egg. Because when I started writing the book, I had this idea about her and her coworkers and all these office situation things, but I didn't actually know what the conflict was going to be. And the scariest thing in my life was a fertilized egg. So that's why in the book, like the terrifying looming thing is a fertilized egg.
It's like perfect. Like,
okay, so that was like one of my questions I was about to ask him about how long it took him to write it, but now we know, like 4 months. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I finished the first draft just before my son was born. Yeah.
How much editing did you have to do?
It's a fair amount. Is the book the first draft of the book was a lot shorter than it ended up, and there was a long process. So I finished the book April and May of 2015, and then edited it for a couple months. So it went from about 56,000 words to about 72,000 words while I was getting in shape, because there was a lot of things that weren't filled in, a lot of things that needed more description. So I went back and did a lot of that. And then I went through the process of trying to find an agent. And now...
Let's talk about that process.
You
brought it up. Let's talk about the process.
What's that?
I said, let's talk about that process that you brought it up. I was like, we need to ask kind of question, don't we? So there it is, the question.
So that was somewhere between a year and a half of trying to find an agent. So I got the book in as good a shape as I could. I started sending out query letters. And then, you send them out, and some agents will get back to you 5 minutes later with, sorry, not for me. And some agents, you'll forget you even sent it out, and then you get a rejection letter. And it's like if you asked a woman out, and then like 6 months later, she's like, sorry, no, I just heard you. No, it's not, you're not good enough. No. It's like, but like anytime you check your email, it's just like, oh, I wonder if I heard back from this person. Oh, no, it's a totally different person rejecting me. So I got a handful of agents that said, this is interesting, send me the full draft or send me a partial of it. And I'd send that over, and that was even more scary, just like waiting. And just like, I had one agent who sent me a rejection at 2 or 3 in the morning on a Saturday night. Mm-hmm. I know I just contradicted myself when I said 2 or 3 in the morning on a Saturday night, but
it's early or late depending on how you look at it.
To this day, I still wonder if she was out at the club and just like having fun sending me a rejection letter. My theory is she probably had a baby. That was my theory. As a person now and his second child, It's probably big.
Oh wow, yeah, definitely.
So I did that for a while, and then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore because I've been, it was really anytime I saw that in an email, it could be a rejection, and it was not fun. Yeah. So I said, I like this book. I think it's a good book. I'm going to self-publish it. That was the original plan. So I found an editor I started searching online for suggestions for editors from different writing websites, and I found Betsy Mitchell. So I sent it off to her, and she's sent me an email back. I asked her if she'd be interested in doing it. I sent her probably 15, 20 pages. She's like, I love this. Yes, let's definitely do it. So I hired her to do it, and I was going to self-publish, and she said, I know someone at Audible who might be interested in it. So she sent it over to Steve Feldberg at Audible, who has been absolutely amazing, who read it, loved it, and has everything good that's happened with this book has been because Betsy sent it to Steve, and Steve believes in the book, and it's been great. So they got the audio rights to it, and they rolled it out, and they've really supported it.
I have to say though, I feel like anyone who didn't support this book should be feeling right.
This is that person that maybe was taking the selfie at the club.
Selfie and rejection letter.
Watch me break this kid's heart. Hold on. Not good enough.
Yeah.
There it is. The hands in the air. Yup. Absolutely did. Yup.
Like shots.
And you picked my favorite dance song, y'all.
Should you be admitting that?
No, I love saying that because literally it was the first time I ever got bought a shot of anything. We got song,
really?
And they were like, have a shot. And I was like, this is my favorite song. I love free stuff. I'm really cheap if anyone didn't know. Anyway.
Free stuff's the best. Food tastes better when it's free. Yeah. Alcohol tastes better when it's free.
Yeah.
And when you eat free food, the calories don't count.
I'm going to remember that.
Yep.
So who's taking me to lunch?
I'm working on my health and nutrition book as we speak. Free food doesn't count. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Awesome.
It should be.
So when do you think the second book will be out?
Well, so
now, but I know authors have to take time.
I'm several drafts in. So we are it is in my agent's hands. There are things going on. So I don't think I can say much more than that, but I'm hopeful that there's going to be people will be able to listen to it before the end of the year.
Well, this is exciting. We're excited.
Yes.
That is my hope. I have no breaking news for you, but it's my hope that the sequel is going to be out by the end of the year.
Well, that's exciting. Well, let's see. Since we only have a few more minutes, the last question is.
Okay.
Where can people find you? Thank you, JC Bowman.
Where can people find me?
And what's next?
Oh, what's next? So people can find me driving all over New York City, probably eating pizza most of the time before it so counts. I am Alexander C. Kane on Twitter. I am also, I have a Facebook page as well. So the next thing is going to be the next Andrea Vernon book, which like I said, I'm hoping is going to be out by the end of the year. I'm also working on another book that's a little early right now. So I feel I'm working on something that is not totally different, but not so much about superheroes. And I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm trying to write something based there. So that was where I grew up. So that's trying to write something about my roots.
She never asked the last question, so I can't ask the two questions that are in my head. So
just go. I'm here. I'm ready.
First of all, Orlando to New York, are you choking? How do you handle winter?
I don't. I absolutely don't. When winter comes, and my son was born here, so he's very excited about shoveling snow with me, but also because he's bad at it and can just go in at any time. But he tries. I moved here in 2004 to be, I did New York City teaching fellow, so I moved up here to teach. And that first winter, I used to stand out at the bus stop, and I was ready to move. Yeah. I was like, I'll move back to Florida. I'll move to Atlanta. I'll go to Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I'm going to go there. And then I would just like sit there fuming, not literally fuming because I was freezing cold. And it doesn't really get better. Like I'm used to it. Yeah. But I don't like it. I didn't realize how long winter is. until I moved up here. I thought winter was just December to like February, like in Florida. Like in February, cold, and then March it's nice, it's warm, spring break. I didn't realize you get into May here and you have 40-degree days. It's just mean.
It is.
Okay,
I agree.
so New York City is several degrees, like 10 degrees colder than where we live in Annapolis, Maryland. And I go up there 10 to 15, and then I go up there to New York, and I'm like, why? I couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't do it. It's too cold. Like
there's no space. There's no space.
But it is cold where you are.
And the summers, see, everyone's just like, oh, well, the summers are worse in Florida. And in a way, that's true because it's so hot and it's so humid, but nobody's outside. Everybody has their air-conditioned cars and their air-conditioned houses. They get it. They just step into the garage for 10 seconds before they're out and they go to their air-conditioned office. We ride the subway here. So when it's 95 degrees out, we're standing right next to each other and we smell awful. Mm-hmm. So it's brutal.
That's so true. I was just saying my last question was,
yes.
So I'm not gonna lie, when I read your book the 7th or 8th time, anyway, I was like, I started putting stars to who's playing. So who's playing in the movie?
Oh, I don't know. I think about that question. I don't know. That's a really good question. Who do you see? Who do you see? Who's Andrea to you?
Okay, so the big axe, of course, was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Come on.
I could see that. I saw Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin could play him. The basketball player, Blake Griffin. Or Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum could do it. Andrea, whenever I see...
I like him better.
Whenever I see Andrea, I see Natasha Rothwell from Insecure.
Oh, she's perfect. The person I had is so old now. So I was like, no, she doesn't work, but I can't think of anyone else.
This is the thing, is like people ask me this question and like all of my like reference is from 20 years ago when I saw more movies, when I was like in high school and college and would go to the movies all the time. So it's like, oh, this person would be great to play this 28-year-old, except for the fact that, oh, right, they're in their 50s now. That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
We're not that. We just don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. I've seen very few movies. I think I've seen like 4 movies in theater since my son was born 3 years ago.
Yeah,
it's like
the
the stars I know right now are like Dr. McStuffins. I know all of those people. Anyway,
as you should.
Exactly.
As you should. Okay, so now
we're done.
Now we're overtime.
Overtime.
Well, no.
Well.
Okay, so now I've said that.
We're basically best friends now. So, we go over time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome anytime. You're welcome back anytime to the Women's Cave.
Sounds great.
You guys can find out everything that we are doing on andwethought.com. Your ladies. I'm sorry, I messed that up. I haven't had coffee yet this morning. All right, so you can find out everything that we're doing on andwethought.com. You can check out Just Right in Life, everything there.
Hold on, she did not say how you can check out Just Right in Life.
Excuse me.
Just Right in Life is on Amazon and on Channel 18 in New York. It's our docuseries.
Not 18 in New York.
Sacramento, California.
See,
look at
you. See,
I'm sitting here thinking about New York, the subway, superheroes, and Channing Tatum.
That's what you get for cutting me off in my wonderful wrap-up. That's what you get.
Anyway. I shall sit and hang my head and shake.
Hang your head and shake. I know what your ladies are doing now to repeat it. Ladies are doing on andwethought.com. Just remember, wisdom is all around you if.
Wow, she said that hostile. You're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona. And yeah, I'm not getting my nails done anytime soon.
Because I'm trying not to die. Winona's crazy.
Bye-bye.